My husband told his family in my presence that his ex-girlfriend is pregnant for him because he feel that I don't understand their language. I married my husband believing that the language barrier between us would never become a problem. He came from a different tribe, although I could communicate with him perfectly in English. We both understand English. I had always been fascinated by his mother tongue. One day, I secretly decided to learn it. I didn't tell my husband because I wanted it to be a surprise. I even find someone from his tribe to teach me. I paid the woman. I wasn't perfect, and there were many words I still couldn't pronounce properly, but gradually I began understanding common words and phrases. My husband had no idea. He thought that whenever he spoke his language around me, I was completely lost. 6 months later, we traveled to his village for Christmas. His family welcomed us warmly. Everybody was happy, cooking, laughing, preparing for Christmas celebration. That afternoon, I was in the kitchen preparing food while my husband sat outside with his siblings and some other relatives. They were speaking their language. At first, I wasn't paying attention. Then I heard a few words that immediately caught my attention. My husband was laughing. He was telling them something about his ex-girlfriend. I froze. I listened carefully. Then I heard him clearly say that his ex was pregnant for him. My heart almost stopped. I thought maybe I misunderstood. So I kept listening. He continued laughing and joking with his people, proudly telling them that he had gotten his former girlfriend pregnant. I slowly walked out of the kitchen. I didn't confront him. Instead, I looked at his sister. The moment our eyes met, her entire expression changed. She stared at me. Then she covered her mouth with both hands. That was when I knew I hadn't misunderstood anything. My husband had just announced to his family that his ex-girlfriend was pregnant for him, right in front of his wife, and he thought I didn't understand a single word. I didn't cry. I didn't shout. I didn't ask him any question. I simply walked back into the kitchen, continued cooking as though I hadn't heard anything. But something inside of me has already changed. That Christmas, I became unusually quiet. I stopped joining their conversation. I stopped laughing with them. I stayed mostly by myself. His family noticed it. They kept asking me what was wrong. I told them I wasn't feeling fine. They didn't know that the woman they thought was sitting quietly because she couldn't understand their language had understood everything. I watched my husband differently from that day. Every smile looked fake. Every touch felt uncomfortable. Every time he spoke his language around me, I wonder how many other things he had said about me that I never understand. I decided I wasn't going to confront him in his village. I wanted to go back to the city first. When we finally returned, I didn't waste time. I began separating my life from him. Part 2. When we came back from village, when we returned to the city, I became very quiet. I didn't fight him. I didn't insult him. I didn't even ask him about the pregnancy. Instead, I started putting my affairs in order. Everything that belongs to both of us started changing. Properties documents, accounts, things I had control over. I made sure I understood exactly what belongs to me and what belongs to him. My husband did not suspect anything. He continued living in the house as though nothing had happened. Then I made one more decision. My husband worked in my father's company. I called my father's manager. My father is late, and quietly told him to prepare my husband's sack later. He tried to ask me. I told him to just do what I asked him to do. I didn't want to embarrass him immediately. I wanted everything to be ready before I confronted him. Then one evening, I called him into the room. He came in casually. I looked at him and asked, "So when are you planning to move in with your ex-girlfriend since she's pregnant for you?" His face changed immediately. "What are you talking about?" he asked. I repeated myself. "Since she's pregnant for you, when are you moving in with her?" Suddenly he became defensive. He started shouting, "Who told you that? What kind of gossip is this? Who is telling you these things? Have I ever been unfaithful to you?" I just looked at him. Then I said, "I heard it myself." He became quiet. "I heard it. I heard everything when we traveled to the village during Xmas. You were discussing it with your family. You said it with your own mouth. You had impregnated your ex." He stared at me in shock. He froze. "Do you know the funniest part?" I continued. "You were laughing because you thought I couldn't understand your language." His mouth opened, but no words came out. "I didn't understand your language perfectly then," I told him, "but I understood the important parts." He started sweating. "I have spent 6 months learning your language. I hired someone from your tribe to teach me. I wanted it to be a surprise. I am not fluent, but I understand enough." He sat down on the floor. For the first time, I saw fear in his face. His excuses suddenly disappeared. I continued. "That day, you weren't looking like a man who had made a mistake and regretted it. You were laughing. You were discussing another woman carrying your child as if it was something to be proud of." He started begging. I raised my hand. "Please, I don't want to stress this matter." Then I told him, "Pack your things and leave this house." He looked at me in disbelief. "Is this how you want it to end?" "This is my father's house," I said. I reminded him, "If you don't want to leave, I will leave. But one thing is certain, you cannot continue living here as my husband." Immediately he changed his attitude. He started begging. I reminded him of something. "You were the one who told me we should wait before having children. I trusted you. I listened to you because I believed we were building our future." My voice shook. "And now you have gone outside, slept with your ex and got her pregnant. You didn't even protect yourself. Then you came back home to continue living with me as if nothing has happened. on. I looked straight into his eyes. You wanted to have another family somewhere else. Why still enjoying the life you had with me here? He began crying. But my heart was already made up. I told him, had it been that listening to my father, I wouldn't have married him. He warned me, but I was carried away with love. My father told me to forget love and face reality, but I chose love. Look at where you have landed me. But please, I am no longer interested. That was how we ended it. He refused to leave. He stayed for a long time, but I left the house for him. At the end of the day, when the family got tired of calling me, they stopped. That was when he made up his mind to call me to return to my house, because I've left the house for 2 months. I was staying with one of my friends. So I told the family, you people know this thing you people are saying is not from your mind, because if you people had me in mind as your sister, you people would have told me this thing that day, or you forced him to tell me. Rather, you people covered everything. Even the sister that looked at me that day did not say anything. I said, we don't have anything to say here, so you people should just stop. You people are pretenders. That was how we ended. My house, everything was intact. He left with his bag. I took over everything. It's not my fault. I can't live with a betrayer, because I don't know the next thing he would do to me. I don't know if him and his ex planned everything.